Well, all right, everybody out there in Chester County, Postville, and on my doggone Facebook page, coming to you straight live on City Town Talk tonight is none other than me, Brother Fonz, with his special guest, Miss Apris Walker. Lord, she's a walking encyclopedia of information and education and motivation. I'm telling you, I can't wait to bring her on. But right now, it's been a while. I got these cute new glasses on, so let me just savor in my beauty for a second, listen to my theme song, and then we're going to get this party started. We're talking about she is a licensed financial, is that an advisor, Apris? Well, golly gee, we're getting ready to have her on. Let me turn this down, and I want to see who's tuning in so we can meet and greet and say some highs. Oh, man. Yes, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is Tuesday evening. Now, you know this is special. This got to be special because what I was doing for Tuesdays, I was having the Prom Chronicles. We were having people that purchased tickets for the prom, and we were going to have them on talking about their prom experiences. But Miss Apris Walker, she is so special. I said, I'm going to forego my usual thing. Now, I'm trying to get us here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. So, Tina Matson, it's good to see you. Calvin Haynes, top of the evening to you. Look, live, I have none other than Miss Apris Walker, and she knows stuff. So we're talking about money this evening. But before we get started, hey, Apris, why don't you introduce yourself and tell my viewers a little bit about yourself?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Fines, for having me on the show. Thank you for carving out that time. I know it's usually dedicated to you talking about the amazing prom that you're putting together. I'm super excited to be in attendance for that. Like mentioned, my name is Apris Walker. I am a licensed and life insurance broker as well as a licensed investment advisor. So I just basically teach people how money works. A lot of people want to become financially independent. They want more financial literacy, but unfortunately, there is really a gap in our communities as it relates to this education and then us making informed decisions. So I pride myself on bringing Wall Street to Main Street, the same wealth principles and concepts that the wealthy are privy to. I bring that to middle market Americans so that they too can receive the education in order to become financially independent. So I break down all of the wealth principles, financial concepts, how money works in bite-sized pieces so that every person has the opportunity to create wealth for their families for generations to come.
Wow, man, look, she told me that and I dropped me a couple of grand right there. Yeah, she good, ain't she? I felt smart already. But look, wait a minute, I'm going to say good evening to some people. Pastor Randall Harris has just checked in. Hey, Pastor Harris, look, I'm telling you, she knows about some money, and I'm sure you got some buried out back. So we're going to give you a way to make your money multiply. Vania McFadden, it's good to see you. Gail Walls, I'm going to keep pushing up on you until you come to the prom, because ain't nobody playing with you. All right, look, so you just heard it. Now, I got some questions for her. And if y'all have any questions, please type it in. And don't forget to hit the share button, because your friends might not be my friends. So we talking about money, ain't trying to be funny. We're talking about money. Now, Apris, where you from?
So I'm from Abington, Pennsylvania. Yeah, so not too far from where you are over in Coatesville, Montgomery County and Abington, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah, out there in the high rent district.
Yeah.
Woo. All right, so what made you get in this type of business?
I love that question. So I have an undergraduate degree in communications media. I have a master's in psychology. So I spent a decade in the mental health field. And before making this a career transition, I was actually a licensed behavior specialist. So I did therapy with children in the homeschool and community setting. So always had a heart for people, always loved helping people. But at the time, I had a life change. Okay, I was expecting my second child. And the job that I had, I was an independent contractor, so they were not going to be paying me for maternity leave. So an opportunity was presented to me as it relates to financial services, and I completely fell in love with the business. So the reason why I fell in love with it, because like I said, I have a heart for people and I love helping people. And I feel like helping people on a financial level is really where we lack. A lot of our communities impoverished, living below the poverty line, and we really don't know what to do with money. So I say, yes, helping people with their behavior is really important, but I wanted to transition and help people with their behavior as it relates to money. And it's definitely been rewarding. I've been in this career now for the last going on 5 years. And I'm really doing the groundwork to help people that look just like me. And you know that wealth does not have to be complicated. We deserve to be financially independent, and we deserve to really make better generational choices so that we can create generational wealth for our families.
Man, girl, you's on fire. Man, you ready. She's shooting from both hips, ain't she? Hey, look, Saida, I ain't want you to think I was ignoring you, but we got Saida Abu Bakir. I guess that's how you say it. We go to the same church. Saida, she reconstructs homes in Philly and all that stuff. Saida, I know you need to make your money multiply, so you stay on here and get some of this information. And before we go, Apris, because I forgot in my questions to ask you, how can they get in touch with you? That's one of the questions. So make sure you let them know that before we go, in case I forget. You already told me how long you've been, and you already told me about your credentials. So now tell us once again what you mean by Wall Street to Main Street.
Yes, and you said something, credentials, and I'll back up, because a lot of times we see people online and they'll say I'm a financial coach, and they'll say I'm a financial advisor, but they don't have the licenses to back that up. So when I say I have the credentials, I really am a licensed investment advisor. So I hold the Series 6, the Series 63, the Series 26, and the Series 65. So I definitely have the credentials to back that up. And that's very important when you're working with somebody, especially as it relates to your money. You want to make sure that they have the licenses and they are who they say that they are. So did you want to say something? I see your face with that.
No. I'm so girl in. Keep going.
Okay. Yep. And what was that question?
The question was, I forgot what it was, but that's not going to stop me. All right, so now you're talking about license and credential. First of all, Angela Driver Grove is good. And I see you, Angela. Don't forget about the adult prom. Stop playing. So check it out. So the benefit of having a licensed advisor, they go through more than just like a bootleg one or whatever you call the unlicensed financial advisor.
And I don't want to say bootleg, because I feel like sometimes experience is the best teacher, but in the financial industry, it's highly regulated by the government. Okay. So in saying that, being highly regulated, there are certain rules and stipulations that we have to abide by. So I'm not knocking anybody. That's never what I intend to do. Don't want to call anybody bootleg or anything like that. But financial services, like I said, is highly regulated. And you just want to make sure that people have the credentials that they say that they have. That's all.
Good stuff. When I say bootleg, I say it with in jest. Yes. Mabel Span has just checked in. Mabel Span is catering the adult prom, ladies and gentlemen. We can't wait to eat. She's got that dynamic place out there in Westchester, Mabel Barbecue. Barbecue, we appreciate you. Dorinda Harris has just checked in. Dorinda, we are talking money. And if y'all missed this, you better catch it on the replay, because she's spitting fire about this money. Now, look, I'm going to go off script, because when you was talking to me, when you talked that money out of my pocket, you was talking about this 72 thing. What is that 72 thing?
Come on, Mr. Fines. I love it. That means, I love when my clients, they really pay attention to what I talk to them about. And I'm going to give people, hopefully you can pick up what I'm trying to put down. What he's referencing is the rule of 72. Okay. Most people have not heard about the rule of 72, because unfortunately, most of us do not have a class in finance. Whether you went to high school, college, graduate school, we don't really have a class in personal finance. But when I learned about the rule of 72, I was completely blown away. And we'll do like a little quick role play. 30 seconds won't take us too long. And we talked about this, Mr. Fines. Now, in the bank, what are they currently giving us on our money?
I don't know, like minus 1%.
Exactly, less than 1%, right? So the rule of 72 tells you, based on a given interest rate, how long it will take your money to double. So if we take 72 divided by a 1% interest rate, that means that it would take your money 72 years to double inside of the bank. How many 72-year periods do we all have? Right? Just one. And for some people, they don't even have that. So that means if you put a $10,000 deposit into the bank today, it would take 72 years for that money to double to 20,000. Can anybody create a sustainable legacy with that?
No, not at all. Not at all. Hey, y'all hear what she talking about on it? Hey, Nelson, I see you hear what she just said about the rule of 72. Mabel, I know you got a lot of money. So listen up, Mabel, you listen.
Yeah, and it's important, especially for retirement, because people spend so many years. We've been told either put your money under the mattress or put your money in the bank. But if your money is not outpacing inflation, you are essentially losing money due to taxes and inflation. So nobody has ever saved their way to true financial independence. The best way to actually become financially independent is to invest your money and have it working for you with a substantial rate of return. And unfortunately, the bank is not going to do that. And I know you have more questions, and I'll just segue into this because I know somebody will say, well, should I not be using a bank? That's not what I'm saying. Every person should have about 3 to 6 months worth of emergency savings inside of your bank, just in case you lose your job, one of your appliances break, you need to go put a down payment on a new car. Yes, so you want to use it for that, 3 to 6 months worth of emergency savings. But outside of that, we should not be having large lump sums of money in a bank because you are essentially loaning your money to the bank. They're giving you 1%, but then they're loaning your money out and they're making 12, 13, 14, 15% on your money when you should be the one getting that rate of return.
Man, that ain't right. See, that ain't right. Sticking us up without a pistol. That ain't right. It ain't right. I like what you said. Sharing the shields. It is good. Sharon, I'm going to stop calling you Sharing the Shield because you know your name is Sissy. That's my pew partner in church. Hey, Nelson Ojeda said, fire, fire, fire. Yeah, she's burning this thing up, ain't she, Nelson? And Nelson, you got that money too. So I know you're probably doing stuff, but you listen to her and she's going to let you know how to get in touch with her. So now, say that again. You said the only reason we should use a bank is to just have money for like emergencies or something like that, right?
Yep. So about 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses, and just an easy way to calculate that if your monthly expenses are $2,000, 2,000 times 3 months is 6,000. And if you really want to create that extra cushion, you can even take it out, 6 months. But anything outside of that, your money is really not working for you inside of the bank the way that you need it to if you really want to create substantial and long-term wealth. And even before long-term wealth, I want to ask everybody this question. And I know everybody can't necessarily answer me right here to my face, but you got to think about it. Do you want to retire broke? Do you want to work until the day that you die? Hopefully that should make somebody cringe, right? But that's going to be the case because most people are taught to work for money. But if you are always working for money, we're going to stay broke. You have to learn how to make your money work for you. And then that's where you'll find yourself on the side of true financial independence.
Did you hear that, Rita Brown? Thanks for checking in, Rita. It is good to see you. I think there's a couple of days we've been together, Rita, talking about the prom. Now we're talking about money. And tomorrow, everybody who's on here right now, tomorrow we're going to have Kim Milborn and her son, Joel Kennedy. They are going to be on the Prom Chronicles. They will be the first mother and daughter team that's actually been interviewed. Everybody else has been boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. Well, we're finally bringing in the sons and the mothers, and they're taking over the prom. Now it seems like more sons have stepped up to the plate, and they're taking their mother to the prom. I'm really excited about it. I got a couple of handkerchiefs because I know I'm going to be crying, and it's a beautiful thing. But we're going to get back to the case at point and case at hand. Let me see. So, all right, what is an investment account, and how does that bad boy work?
Yes, so that's a great question. You know, and I do want to say, because just in complete transparency, you know, investments do hold possible risk, you know, but the thing about investment accounts and working with a professional, we can help you mitigate that risk, because we're going to create a client portfolio to say, listen, are you somebody that's completely, you know, averse to risk? So are you low risk, moderate risk, high risk, right? So we're going to sit down and talk to you to assess that, because I get it. So many people are afraid because they're like, well, I don't want to lose my money, but not realizing you're losing your money in the bank to taxes and inflation, you know. So I really provide that education to help people understand, you know, with hypothetical situations, to help them see what it is that they can do. So investment accounts, and more specifically, what I will say are, I'll speak about mutual funds, okay? And I like to use this example. So a lot of people know about stocks. I remember growing up, you know, having stocks and Aqua and, like, you know, different things like that. And again, this is not me telling anybody to go out and buy certain stocks or anything like that. I'm not doing any type of solicitation. But just to break this down for you, let's just say you had we'll make XYZ company, and Mr. Fines will use this role play. Let's just say you had $100 you want to invest, right? And you put all of that in XYZ company. If XYZ goes bankrupt, what happens to all of your money?
Gone.
It's gone, right? But inside of a mutual fund, you're going to be investing in over 100, on average, over 150 companies at one time. So what is the likelihood of 150 companies going bankrupt on the same day at the same time?
Highly unlikely. You probably can hit the lottery before you do that happen.
Right? It's highly unlikely. So yes, stocks, mutual funds, they're both investments, but mutual funds are going to allow you to diversify that risk, because again, the likelihood of 150 different companies going bankrupt on the same day, and the chances of that, you know, are very slim to none. So helping the average and ordinary person to be able to get stake inside of investments with something that they're comfortable with. And the thing about stocks is basically like, you have a shared ownership in the company. Do you own that company? No, but your stock in that company allows you to have share ownership inside of that company. So that's what it means when you're buying into a share of a company, you're buying into basically having, you know, share ownership of it. So it allows you to basically, and another thing about a mutual fund is professionally managed. For some people who buy individual stocks, they have to sit there and watch the stock market. They have to decide, well, which company should I be investing in? And that's why most people don't do it, because they don't feel confident in it. If you're a nurse by trade, you do what well? Nursing. But inside of a mutual fund, it is professionally managed by fund managers whose sole job is to manage your money. So inside of a mutual fund, you don't have to worry about, well, what should I be investing in? And should I invest this or should I take it out? Because it is professionally managed by people whose sole job is to fund that, to manage that fund for you.
That is good stuff. Good stuff. So now, so is there a certain philosophy or that you adhere to, or are you flexible, and how does that work? How do you create something for an individual?
I love that question. I'm completely flexible, because as a fiduciary, it's not about me. I'm always acting in the best interest of my client, and every client has different needs, because I could be working with somebody who's 20 something. They have no family of their own, no children, just getting out of college, but wanting to invest. But then you might have somebody who's already retired. They're just learning about this information, and I'm taking them from ground zero to try to still put them in the best position. So you have two different people who are at different points of their life, and they're going to need different type of investment strategies and advice. So I never go into it saying, I'm going to do this, because I won't know what to do until I sit with the client and assess their current financial situation. Do they already have investments? Because just because you already have an investment, it doesn't mean that that's the best investment for you. So it's coming in there and taking a holistic view to really see what is the best strategy for the client.
Okay, sissy, you can take the money out of the yard now. You can dig it up. We're going to tell you and give you her number and everything before we close. Hey, don't forget to hit the share button. You know, I know y'all not hitting the share button because it would come across my screen. So don't forget to do that because it's about sharing, being selfish and share this thing. Okay, what else I got? What else? All right. All right. So now, you done con somebody in. I mean, you got somebody to partake of your service, right? Now, how will the relationship work? I mean, once you sign a person up, do you disappear? You on to the next person? What does the relationship look like?
I love that question because I sit down with people all the time and literally I meet with people and they say, well, I had this account for 10 years. I had this account for 20 years and they haven't talked to the person since they set up the investment. You know, so for me, I do annual reviews, but I'm always open for me. And that's why I love what I do because nobody has to call a 1-800 number to check in with their account. Me and my clients, we have an open door policy. They can call me, email me at any time. And this is really a working relationship. So not only do I do annual reviews, but I'm always open to talk to my clients. If they have any life changes, they might come across some more money. They might be going through something where they might need to make a big purchase. And no person is going to be ever in the same position that they're in when you first meet with them. So it's really up to me to do the best thing by my client and say, listen, we met 2 years ago, but I'm pretty sure things have changed for you. Are we still on the right track or do we need to change some things to really help you meet your goal?
Nelson said she's on point with 100. Nelson, she really, really is. I'm totally impressed. I look dumbfounded, but she's got me going, man. And Sharon wants to know, what company do you for?
Absolutely. So I am an investment advisor with Primerica Financial Services, but I work with many different investment companies. So I work with different companies such as Franklin Templeton, Fidelity, Legg Mason, Lincoln. So I work with many different companies so I'm basically like the liaison, right, with these investment companies, and I partner with them to find the best funds for the company.
Okay, so now you got these different companies. Does one have a benefit over the other, or they just do like different products or something? How would somebody pick which one to use?
Awesome. So again, it comes down to the goals of the client. And then I can suggest and we can go through different portfolios because sometimes people want to invest in what they know, right? So if you look around your house and you use a certain toilet paper, you might want to invest in that toilet paper. Or if you like a certain bank, you might want to invest in that bank. Or if you like a certain social media site, you might want to invest in that certain social media site. So basically, it's all based on what the needs of the client are. And if it comes down to like two different fund companies, it might just come down to say, oh, well, I like this toilet paper company over this toilet paper company, and this is what's in this fund, so I'm going to select that. So they generally, again, all made up of mutual funds, but the strategies are different. And also sometimes it even takes to say, well, this fund has been around longer. So it's a little bit more, it might seem like it has a little bit more stability. So it just comes down to, again, the individual needs of the client.
Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, I think Sissy just dug up her money from out the backyard and she has a question. And she's saying, I'm looking to open an account. I think we got something going here. Apris. She's looking to open an account for my 8-year-old great-grandson. Now, you know you got to have money when you pass the grandson and you go straight to the great-grandson. She done took care of everybody. She's working on the great-greats. All right, let me finish this sentence. She says, what do you suggest? What kind of account for 8-year-old?
So again, I can't necessarily give you a complete suggestion or give you investment advice on this platform. And if you want to meet, it's all complimentary. I can give you a complimentary personal presentation. Definitely will give my information at the end. But what I will tell you is the certain type of minor accounts, you have like a 529 college savings plan. That's going to basically help somebody with higher education. They can use that for education needs when they go to college, if they go to grad school. It can even be transferred to another family member. So let's just say your great-great-grandson, he decides, he wants to maybe be a chef, and he might not, well, not even a chef. Maybe he wants to be a world traveler. So he doesn't use the funds, but he has a sister who is going to college. You know, those funds can be transferred to a different family member. And then you also have the UGMA accounts. This is a Uniform Gift Minor account. And this is another way for you to save and invest for a minor. This type of account does not have to be used for education purposes, but depending on the state, when the child becomes a certain age, that account gets signed over to them, and now they become the owner and controller of that account. So again, it breaks down to different needs. What type of account do you think would be best for you? But just generally speaking, 2 types of accounts, and you also can open up a minor Roth IRA for a child. In order for them to have the minor Roth IRA, they do have to have earned income, okay? Because in order to invest in a Roth IRA, that's a child or an adult, you have to have earned income. So again, the 529 education, the Uniform Gift Minor account, that can be just like a gift to the child once they become a certain age. And then also the Roth minor IRA, but they have to have earned income in order to have that type of account.
She done made my head hurt. I'd be like, huh? What you say?
Well, so and I don't want to make anybody's head hurt, but just to be simple, you got options, right?
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, I love it. Hey, if anybody out there's got questions, now's the time. Don't wait till she hangs up and you be like, I should have asked this. Okay, now, so she said, Sissy said, thank you. You're amazing. Yes, she is. She certainly is. Okay. So now, as an investor, do you have the opportunity to see what's in your portfolio, where it stands, how it rises and all that? I'm sure there's some excitement and angst in seeing that, but is that possible?
I love that question. And so what I always tell my clients, even when I met with you, Mr. Fines, and you was playing it cool, so I didn't have to really go too much in depth with this, but sometimes people are emotional investors, right? Right now, and the stock market is down. So for an average person, they would be panicking like, oh my God, let me take my money out. Let me take my money out, not realizing that they're probably going to lose out on a lot of money. Investing is like a roller coaster. It might go down, but it's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's going to go up. And you got to take your emotions out of it and ride the investment wave. And again, y'all know we are an emotional people. And that's why a lot of us, we don't invest or we pull out of the market too fast, right? Because a lot of times people see the most growth and the most gains after a market down. Now, past performance is not indicative of future performance. I want to say that, but again, certain history trends. So I always tell my clients, you don't want to be an emotional investor. This is not something that you should be checking daily or even weekly. Respect the market cycles and allow it to do its work. And when I sit down with my clients, I show them charts and I show them different milestones in history where most people would have been like, oh no, because this war is going on, or this presidential change happened, or this pandemic happened, I'm going to get out. But I show them, even though these things happen, and I show them the market ticks and the market climbs after those things so that they can see, like, even though we might be going through this period, this is what I have to look forward to. But the thing I love about my company is complete transparency. You can log on to our client website at any time to check on your portfolio. And when I say it is so user-friendly, guys, you can even go on there and make a one-time purchase yourself, make a withdrawal yourself. You can see the history. You can see the current, the trading. You can see a lot of different things, that you can see a lot of different things that are on there.
Okay, good stuff. Now, all right. Now, what's my next question? How do you get paid? And how much does it cost for me to use you?
That's a great question. So it doesn't, I don't charge anybody. Like, I don't charge you. Okay, so if somebody says, well, Apris, because you might go to somebody and they're like, I charge $200 an hour. I don't charge my clients a fee to sit with me. The only fee that they're, well, I don't want to say only, the fee that they're going to incur, okay, is the fund. There's a fund fee, a service fee through the fund that they're going to pay, that they pay regardless. But for somebody, that's why I say for me, you want to set up a meeting, it is completely complimentary. Even if you open up an account with me, you don't have to write it, you don't have to pull out your checkbook and cut me a check. Okay, so there's something called a prospectus. And what a prospectus does is it breaks down the fund history. It talks about how long the fund has been around. It talks about the fund managers, but it also talks about the cost. And again, it doesn't matter where you're investing, even for people 401ks, 403bs, there is a fee, right? That's attached to that. But sometimes when you go sit with investment advisors, they're going to charge you on top of that. But I don't charge any type of consultation, or I don't charge a commission or anything to sit down. And that brings me to another point. With my company, I allow people to invest with as little as $50 per month. And I'm pretty sure some of you have been around for some time. If you were to go to any of these other brokerage companies, they're not letting you in the door unless you can write a check for $25,000, $50,000, $100,000. So I pride myself and my company on helping average and ordinary people to be able to become investors at any period of their lives.
All right, all right. Hey, no, good evening. Hey, Javer Stubbs checked in Ravonna Griffin, who is trying to beat me at Word with Friends, and it's not going to happen. Karen C. Mobley, it's good to see you. Y'all all late what happened, but it's all right, because you know you can see this in the repost. Right now, we have Miss Apris Walker, who is a licensed financial advisor, and if you haven't heard her spiel, once you hear it, you'll be highly impressed. You'll know more about money than you did when you first started. Just the rule of 72 just blew me away, and it made me feel so stupid, because I've had various businesses, and because of bad spending practices and overindulgences, I've lost over $1 million. And I'm not being facetious, that's true. And I wish I had this education long ago, but I'm okay where I'm at. I'm okay. And
you bring up, and if you don't mind me interjecting right there, you bring up a great point. There's something called the high cost of waiting. Mm-hmm. The longer you wait to start investing, the more you're going to have to put up. So that's why people say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is too expensive. Tomorrow is going to cost you too much. If you have a goal to accumulate $1 million, let's say, you're going to have to invest more tomorrow than if you started with today, because the older you are, the more you're going to have to invest in order to meet those type of goals. And then you bring up another great point. Every person needs to have 3 type of accounts. And this way is going to help you to be able to manage your money. The problem is most of us have all of our money in one pot. So if we see the money, we feel like we can spend the money, because unfortunately, a lot of people let money burn their pockets. But you need to have 3 type of accounts.
Leave me alone. Stop talking about me.
I'm coming down your leg, right? Listen, I get it. Life is to be enjoyed, but we want to make sure that we have something for later as well. So the first type of account is going to be your emergency fund account. Again, you want to have about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in that fund. The next one is going to be your short-term account. So that's for anything maybe for the next 2, 3, 4 years. Let's just say you know that you're going to need a down payment for a new home, or you know you're going to have to buy some appliances in the next 3 years. And then the third account is going to be your long-term wealth building and retirement accounts. And the reason why that's so important, because if you have all that money in one account, again, you're going to spend. But if you know something is in your retirement account, you're like, this is not available for me, because this is for the future. And I want to encourage everybody, every time you get paid, pay yourself first. Don't go paying Verizon, because guess what? When you get the retirement, Verizon ain't coming to pay you. So you always want to set a portion of your money aside to pay yourself in the form of saving and investing, because what we believe is save your money, because one day your money is going to have to save you.
I'm telling you, she done turned into a rapper now. Yeah. MC Light. Okay. Oh man, this is good stuff. Hey, Ravonna talking about hello, Fonz. We need to stop it. We're never going to stop it. Hey, X-Man coming in. He's just checked in from Philadelphia. Hey, Hey, Brother X, I'm telling you, we have Apris Walker on here, and she's talking about money, investments, mutual funds. This has been so enlightening. I love this. I'm telling you, she's true. I just started investing, and I'm 70. I was 72 when I invested, but I'm 73 now because my birthday was the 24th. So I'm the one that she said, the later you get, the more you got to put down.
Happy belated.
Thank you very much. I am so now. All right. Okay. Now, are our earnings taxable?
So that's a great question, and that's going to depend on the type of account that you're actually in and how it's classified. So that's going to be based on a different account. So, but I'll give you a generic answer, and that's a great question, because like your general 401k accounts are going to be taxable in retirement. And that's important, guys, because let's just say you have $100,000 in your 401k, which, by the way, is not nearly enough to retire on. The average person is going to need about $1.5 million in order to retire comfortably so that they don't have to go back to work for money again. So let's just say you have a 401k, you have $100,000 in there. In retirement, you're in a 20% tax bracket. 20% of 100,000 is 20,000. So that 100,000 is not that 100,000, because 20,000 of it is going where? To the government, to taxes. Okay. So, but with something like a Roth IRA account, that's going to grow tax-free and tax deferred. After 59 and a half, if you take out the gains in your contribution, that money is going to, you can get the distributions tax-free. So again, it's going to be based on the different type of account. Like I said, I'm going to give my contact information. Or anybody want to schedule a complimentary session with me, we can do that. But again, it's going to be based on the account. And that's why I tell everybody, I do not care what you have set up with your job. If you have life insurance or investments with your job, you need to make sure that you have life insurance and investments outside of your job. Because for most people, the life insurance you have with your job is not coming with you once you retire. And then the investment account that you have with your job is not probably going to be enough to help you reach your goal when you retire. So that's the type of thing that you want to have independent, and in addition to have what you have with your employer, but you better have something outside of that that you can control and make the decisions on.
I heard that. Sissy said true. Sound like you're a witness there, Sissy. Must have happened to you. All right, but look. Now you just mentioned about the taxable this, taxable that. If you got, I hope you got me in something that I ain't got to pay no taxes. I ain't even thought about that. We'll talk offline though.
Yes,
I don't want no trouble. Yeah, you what? Come on now, somebody help me. All right, where else am I? Okay, is there a minimum time to invest and withdraw funds?
Yes and no. We want to make sure that you're not using this as an emergency account. So when I sit down with my clients, I ask them, is this money, would you need this in the next 6 to 12 months? If they tell me yes, I'm going to help them put that into a money market account. A money market account is very similar to a savings account. They're not going to get any fees on that because, again, acting as a fiduciary, I want to do what's right in the best interest of my client. So if you're telling me you're going to need that money in the next 6 to 12 months, that money or all of that money should not be invested. Because again, there are fees attached to certain funds, and we don't want to charge you a fee just for you to take that money back out. Is not in the best interest of the client. So no, but yes, if that makes sense. So no, and again, this is why personalized advice is going to be best, because we would structure your accounts and say, listen, I need part of the money in a year. I won't need another part of the money until 5 years from now. And then I won't need another part of the money until 10 to 15 years. So just given that hypothetical illustration, I might say to the client, okay, well, listen, we're going to create 3 different accounts for you, one for this, one for this, one for this. And this is how we're going to distribute that money to, again, help you meet your needs and to make sure you're not being taken advantage of, and it's in the best interest of you.
Good stuff, good stuff. Now, all through this session, I kept hearing you use the word fiduciary. Could you tell us what a fiduciary is?
Yeah, it just means somebody who's working, for layman's terms, you're working in the best interest of the client. Like, it's not about you, and you're putting the best interest of the client before your own, essentially, and making sure you're doing what's right. And when you are in a fiduciary position, and that's why I talked about my licensure in the beginning, as a Series 65 holder, I am a fiduciary. So I'm held to higher standards than even other licensed professionals. So yeah, it's just making sure that I'm acting in the best interest of the client, and I'm not doing stuff to manipulate people. I'm not doing stuff because it's going to benefit me in my pockets, but it's going to help the client.
Look, thank you. Now, I'm going to tell you how I always know when it's time, when enough is enough. Because I usually don't eat before I have this. And when my stomach starts growling, it's telling me, okay, wind it down, buddy. Wind it down.
Up. Right.
Hey, look, first, I want to say, first, before we even close, is there any last thing that you would like to share with the viewers? It could be educational, informational, or motivational. This time.
I just want to encourage everybody. I know this is a trying time financially for a lot of people across the nation. And I just want to let everybody know that what I do is I help you find the money, because sometimes people say I don't have the money because they don't realize that they're overpaying or they're over allocating money that doesn't need to be spent in certain places. So if you feel like you're somebody out there and you're like, listen, I don't have any wiggle room to invest, I don't know where to start, I'm here to help you find the money. And again, helping people invest with as little as $50 a month, because just because you can only contribute $50 a month today, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to contribute more. So don't let what your position looks like now stop you from putting yourself in the best position later. Because there's so many people I sit down with and they are retired and they are kicking themselves, and now they're living uncomfortably, penny pinching, maybe having to move back in with relatives or go get another job after they retire because they didn't put a handle on this before. So yes, we all want to enjoy our money now, but we also have to think about later. So I'm here to help every single person learn how money works, help break these concepts down into bite-sized chewable pieces that not just can help you, but help you change your legacy for 7 generations or more. And that's what this thing is about. All of us on here are worth financial independence. All of us on here are worth generational wealth. And I'm here to partner with you to help you make the best choices as it relates to your money. So again, my name is Apris Walker. You can contact me directly. You can call me. My phone number is 215-740-0932. I'll say that again.
Hold on for a second. I want to type this in to the chat section myself. 215 what?
740 09 32. Yes, and you can give me a call. We'll do a complimentary financial needs analysis to actually see where you are and what the best course of action for you would be. But listen, guys, just start where you can, but please start now. You do not want to be in a position where you're playing a shoulda, woulda, coulda game. So just start now, and we'll find out what does that mean and how can that be comfortable for you.
Thank you so much, Apris Walker. Doggone it. This was good. Putting this in the archives and on YouTube. And I'll be playing this, reposting it. So first of all, I want to really say thank you. I feel honored that you allowed me to come into your living space and sit here and bombard you with questions and have some fun and all that stuff. I appreciate you much. To my viewers out there, you know how I end this thing. I want to let y'all know, if nobody told you, that they love you today. Brother Fonz and my baby Case love you. Coatesville's rising, and peace out. Bam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Now if I can just shut this down like I got sense.